So today is Friday, August the 7th, and it is launch day for the new Samsung Galaxy Foldables. The Z Flip 8, Z Fold 8, and Z Fold 8 Ultra. We shall go to Best Buy, and I will bring y'all in with me, and we will pick up these devices. We are here. Let's go. So today is launch day, and I could not miss out. So have an unboxing, have some upcoming reviews. Going to do the unboxing of the Fold 8 in this video, and then for the Flip 8 we will do a individual unboxing on that as well. But since this is the talk of the town, let's go ahead and take a look at the Fold 8. Now this is the purple model, violet model. Don't judge me. This is potentially my wife's phone, but I get the pleasure of unboxing it. Now, this is the 256 gig model. New form factor, interesting. I'm not a foldable person, but this could very well change my mind. Okay, so there we go. There is the violet color. Now, what comes in here? Look, I have no clue. You've seen one, you've seen them all essentially. I think what you get is a cable. You get a cable, manufacturer's card, warranty information, SIM tray ejector. Well, like I said, you've seen one, you've seen them all. So we're going to put this back nice and neat, just like that. Let's take a look at this. So very interesting form factor. Very lightweight. So my initial thoughts is I actually like the violet. Now I would not use this, but this actual color. But I do like that it's not too pronounced of a purple, meaning it's not too girly. But certainly a razor thin device. I mean, just look at it. It's essentially the width of the USB Type-C port. I mean, look at that. I mean, absolutely incredible. Now, one thing that I have seen online is the placement of the speakers are not the best place. As you can tell, towards the top of the device, there's your SIM tray ejector. Here's a speaker. There's a speaker. So when you have it open, they put them on the left-hand side, and I'm sure that just has to do with placement inside the device, meaning where they can physically put each component. I'm assuming they just made way for the left side, which is not too bad, but if you are holding it like this, your finger directly blocks that speaker. So if you're holding it like this, you're going to be blocking one of the speakers. It looks like the top one will just be firing out. It would be nice is if they put one up top here, maybe one on the bottom over here. Is it, caddy corner was probably the best placement, but I'm assuming the battery is in this side, and that's probably why they could not put it caddy corner. But the wobble, I'm sure, is going to be a little annoying. You can see the cameras poke out, the camera island right there. Let's see the wobble. Yeah, if anybody has an S26 Ultra, the wobble is certainly annoying. It's one of those things that you really cannot get away from. But it is razor thin. Now this should get really good audio because look, I've already noticed a number of microphones. It looks like you got two down here, one microphone here, one microphone here, and then when you turn it right side up, you have one mic here, and this is the SIM card tray. I just can't get over how absolutely thin this thing is, and it is pretty lightweight. I mean, just around 200 grams. Now here is the S26 Ultra size wise, As you can see, it's noticeably shorter, certainly thinner than the S26 Ultra. So it essentially comes, if you have an S26 Ultra, it essentially comes right underneath that sensor right there as far as height wise. It is a little wider, nothing crazy, right? Interesting though, and you can tell the width wise, it is noticeably thinner. So let's go ahead and peel the first away you go. There's the display. And away you go. There's the inner display. Now, crease-wise, doesn't look like there's any crease at all. Now, when you fold it for the very first time, that's when it forms that crease. So right when you take it out of the box, there is no crease, but it's just waiting for you to fold it, right? Very nice, very good form factor. So let's go ahead and turn it on and we'll give it our very first fold. This thing's small. It looks bigger on YouTube reviews and YouTube videos. It looks bigger, honestly, and when you have it in your hand, it's actually pretty freaking small. I mean, look, if you have an S26 Ultra, again, and it's lengthwise, it's about the same length in your hand, and it's about 1.5 times the width of an S26 Ultra. So pretty small device, but pretty cool nonetheless. Very interesting form factor. I don't know if this will encourage me or push me to purchase these in the future, but I think this form factor suits many more people, including myself, because everybody knows I'm not a foldable person. I have never really had the urge to buy one, but I think Samsung, whether you want to say Samsung or Apple, whoever initially got on the, I guess Google, right, with their very first fold was kind of this same form factor, but I think Samsung and potentially Apple might have perfected the actual dimensions. But let's go ahead and give it our very first fold, and we will see what this looks like in real time. Interesting. That is certainly, now you can, the obviously good thing about this is you can actually you still have to maneuver it, because look, if you got it in your hand holding it normally and you wanted to make selections on the screen, your thumb, without maneuvering it around, without juggling it in your hand, your thumb can essentially get 60 to 70%, probably 60%, because even down below on the low end, bottom right of the screen, it's still hard. Remember, this is a wide phone, so you kind of still have to juggle in your hand, putting it up here at the top of your palm just to make selections. Now, that's pretty cool. That looks like a small monitor right there. Actually, I could probably use this sideways. That's the thing. I don't know how much I'm going to open it up. Now, obviously for editing videos, let's take a look at that crease. It's almost not even there, honestly. I can't even hardly tell. Now I can barely tell, but that's only in certain angles where the light reflects off of the display. But if you're holding it, I mean, you really have to look for that crease to find it. I mean, it's essentially gone. I'm shocked. And you can't, maybe, if you feel it, now it's maybe 1 to 2%.
Turn on accessibility mode. Continue holding the screen with 2 fingers until you hear a beep.
Let me turn this down. Now, I could probably use it more like this, honestly. I could see myself using it like that for some scenarios, this for watching videos, editing videos. Um, Actually, I could use this if I had to, but maybe time will tell. Maybe after you sign in and get rolling and actually start using this, forcing myself to actually use it, I might um, enjoy it. I think I think a lot of people are going to like this form factor. I can see why they've essentially sold out, broken sales records with this. Certainly pushing the boundaries when it comes to technology, mobile technology, R&D. I think Samsung knocked that out of the park. I mean, I might not be the biggest foldable fan, but as far as what Samsung is doing, pushing the boundaries, look, nobody does foldables like Samsung. I know I'm going to get some people in the comments saying, oh, but Huawei's had this, or the Apple one's going to kill it. Say what you want, but Samsung is at the forefront of foldables, right? And those iPhone Ultra users or potential buyers, buyer beware. I'm not saying it's going to be a flop of the iPhone Ultra. I'm not saying it's going to suck. Just beware whenever you purchase the first generation of a new model, the first generation of a new device, typically one or two little problems arise that they did not expect or that did not pop up in the middle of testing these things, because they go through extensive testing before they even launch these. So Samsung employees have been using this and testing these internally. Well, a problem might not arise during testing, because remember, they only test a few hundred of these. When you sell a few million of them, something could happen. So it's generally, and that not only goes for phones, that goes for vehicles, right? New model cars, monitors, chargers, Wi-Fi routers, microphones, keyboards, all sorts of crazy new designs. Beware on the very first generation. And look, I'm not saying something is going to happen. I'm just saying I would give the edge to Samsung over Apple in the foldable department even before the iPhone Ultra comes out, which is the iPhone Ultra is going to be the iPhone Fold, similar form factor, 2 camera sensors, almost exact same dimensions, but the iPhone Ultra is pretty ugly. iPhone Ultra also has rounded corners. I've heard some people say that the left bottom corner where the hinge is, bothered some people, but it doesn't feel like it would bother me at all. Now, maybe I need to start using this, but I might be able to do this. Now, the other thing is when you put cases on these, it changes the form factor completely. Not necessarily the form factor, because it is still passport style, but just the feel of it. It adds thickness, it adds weight. Thinborn was kind enough to send me their suite of aramid fiber cases for the Fold 8 and the Flip 8. So we should get those, I think, tomorrow or at latest Monday. And I'm going to be doing extensive case reviews on these devices. Thinborn is essentially the only case I would use with these. I'm just saying, they're very light, they're very thin, and they add superior protection. I just hate adding bulky cases to a device that is so unique like this. I hate to, I like the way it looks, I like the way it feels, but you have got to be insane if you use this phone outside without a case. You got to be insane, because if you are going to purchase one of these, you cannot skip the insurance. These are very, very delicate devices. You got Gorilla Glass here on the outside, but on the inside, it's essentially plastic. So it scratches easy, it breaks easy. If you drop something on it while it's open, it's going to put a black blob on the OLED display. So just be very careful. Add your insurance, whether it's through Best Buy, whether it's through Samsung or another third-party company. Get insurance. I recommend Samsung because I have had to replace a display or two in the past, and you can get it done in the same day if you go through Samsung. So fantastic device. Stay tuned. Subscribe to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. I'm going to have tons more content on the way. I'm going to sign in and get it rolling. And then we're going to do an unboxing for the Z Flip 8. I'll put a link down below for that as well if you're interested in that. I got the graphite color, so it's all black. I cannot wait. I love the flips, so I'm very excited for that. But stay tuned, and we got a lot more to come. Peace.